The whole do your makeup like your rising sign thing is completely overdone. Some of you have been severely misguided, and I'm here to set the record straight. Why are we bothering with our rising sign right now when the real tea is our Venus sign and our Venus planetary ruler? Venus is how we tap into our juiciest, rawest, most unfiltered form. Venus is how we tap into the final boss form, very simply, when it comes to our creative expression, when it comes to our beauty. If you are ready for a glow up, tap in and embody your Venus sign. Very, very simply. The most shallow way to describe Venus is just beauty. Venus is adornment. Venus is the most sacred act of self-love. Venus is how we devote to ourselves. Venus is an act of devotion to ourselves. And it's very much like you are creating an altar for yourself and worshiping yourself and demanding that the rest of the world do the same. Venus is charm, it is glamour, it is sensuality, and Venus is about taste. Venus is about tapping into all the physical senses, but also emotionally, spiritually, having a refined palate. Venus is the energy. When you tap into your Venus sign, it's very much like finding your signature scent, finding your signature hairstyle. Venus rules what makes us feel beautiful. Venus is truly the planet that makes life worth living, because this is a very important feeling good about ourselves and understanding what makes us feel joy, what makes us feel beautiful, is a very important part of our everyday lives. So when we tap into our Venus sign, we're understanding like Venus represents literally what we like, literally what we're attracted to, literally what we are willing to pour all of our time and attention into. Venus represents what we would rather be doing. We're willing to sacrifice these other mundane things and pour that energy and time into our Venus sign. Because our Venus sign represents real aesthetic fulfillment. Venus is literally the planet of aesthetic. So when we're talking about what makes us feel good, what trends look best on us, right? We should be tapping into our Venus sign. Venus is very much the planet of how you develop your personal style. It's very much an intuitive process, and it has a lot to do with like how you are feeling, right? What makes you feel good about yourself. Most importantly, Venus is about what we value, what we hold dear, what is vital to us, what we aren't willing to live without. Venus is very much the energy of like, I cannot leave the house without my earrings in. I cannot leave the house without my bed being made. Beauty can be very mundane, but it also can require a lot of hard work. And a lot of that hard work is equated to our sense of self. And for example, personal style is something that you build over time. It's not something that you can just wake up and have this extremely unique closet. It's something that you have to build through experience. Remember, Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces, which is a very fluid sign. So remember that these are very fluid things. You can activate any of the planets within your chart by tapping into the energies. Like just because you have your rising sign in Capricorn does not mean your makeup has to be boring and polished and work business casual appropriate all the time. Like it doesn't need to be like that. This process can be very fun and whimsical for everybody. You can tap into the energies of any of the signs, specifically the planets, right, to enhance the energy or the presence of that sign or planet in your life. If you're wanting to tap into something that's going to make you feel more disciplined, more put together, then tap into the energy of Saturn. If you want to bring comfort, if you want to bring and relaxing, mysterious energy, then tapping into the energy of the moon would be appropriate. Now, the rising sign is not a planet. It is simply the sign that was on the horizon when you came into this physical world. So, with that being said, the ascendant does have a lot to do with how we are perceived. When it comes to goals that we are trying to reach, you want to move through the world being perceived in a way that reflects your inner world that reflects your self-image, then tap into your rising sign. Rising sign is more about how you hold yourself. And the planetary ruler of your rising sign can tell you which archetypes and styles to lean on when you are maybe feeling lost. Because when we're feeling lost, the rising sign is what we look towards. It is kind of our reminder and our checkpoint, and it's literally what sets up our entire chart, and it's kind of the marker along the journey of the alignment and the path that we are on, basically. So we can always refer back to the ascendant when we're feeling lost, when we're feeling astray. So that feeling of like, what's my purpose? Or what am I meant to do? Right? What does my authentic expression look like? That is your rising sign. So altogether, your style comes from your ascendant, your rising sign, but particularly the planetary ruler of your rising sign. So for Capricorn and Aquarius, that's going to be Saturn. For Pisces and Sagittarius, that's going to be Jupiter. For Cancer, that's going to be the moon. For Leo, that's going to be the sun. And for Aries and Scorpio, it's going to be Mars. And for Virgo and Gemini, it's going to be Mercury. And the same can be said for when you're looking for the planetary ruler of your Venus sign. And that's where your style also comes from. And you're also going to want to look at the house that the ruler of your ascendant and the ruler of your Venus sign is in. Integrating all of this together is going to help you on the path of determining your signature, iconic, unique style. So when we understand this, we understand that trying to fit all Scorpio risings under black eyeliner cat eye vibes is not necessarily accurate. To be honest, that would be more appropriate to say about the Scorpio Venuses, but not necessarily the Scorpio risings. When we're talking about the rising sign, I like to equate that more with what we kind of put on ourselves to be perceived in a certain way. So that has more to do with certain trends or aesthetics and curation. The Venus sign, I would equate definitely a lot more with adornment. So jewelry, makeup, accessorizing, that really comes more from the Venus. And then we integrate all of that together. And on top of that, the houses can tell us a lot about, the houses are kind of like the glue that can bring all of this together. So if you have your Venus in the 9th house, you are going to find maybe a lot of inspiration from traveling or drawing from different cultures. So the houses are really important. If you're feeling this, follow along for more. Make sure to share as well. I'm going to be coming out with this series on fashion through the 12 signs. This is not going to be a series about how to dress like your rising sign, because we're all built differently. This is more a lookbook of the 12 signs based on their planetary rulers, based on the sign archetypes. We're going to be learning a lot. We're going to be using celebrity examples. We're going to be using fashion designer examples as well. I'm really excited. This lookbook is really going to be something that acts as a foundation so you all can look at your personal placements and pull it all together to create your own distinct, unique, iconic style so we can all glow up and level up and be embodying our truest, most authentic, juiciest, most delicious selves, our most succulent selves. Y'all know in Winx Club when the girlies would transform into like the final boss version of their fairy selves. That's what this is giving. So follow along for more, babes, and have some discernment about some of the content you're consuming. Thank you.